disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
If this your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Tuesdays, you got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Thursdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. And Angel.
We have the traditional way with Brett Sunway. My bad, y'all. And then we got the we already had it, so it's gonna be next month will be the extra scoop with Peyton Fender and Jeff Doss.
For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
What's up, man? My bad, man. I'm trying to set up all of our production stuff as like you're talking. I'm like, all right, I got my timestamps, I got everything I need, like trying to get all my production value things going.
That's all good, man. All good. What's up, Joe?
You know what? It's been an okay week. Nothing crazy, but work is just irritating me right now. You know,
it's a busy time, right?
It's getting busy, but that's not even the irritating part. The irritating is like you got a bunch of corporate people. They sit around and like my building, you know, we got a lot of people because it doesn't shut down. My building's open year round, all 3 shifts. You know, we're running mail all day, every day. So everything's the same, you know, that's how it goes. So I'm on the first shift, you know, I'm in the morning.
What's that?
So, is that a car?
What it sound like? Was that
Angel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was outside. Yeah,
we heard that.
Oh, damn! You guys heard that?
Yeah. Like it was next to me.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Crazy. Anyhow,
that's that microphone. That's my microphone, man.
You know, we got only a limited amount of supervisors, and I swear the ratio is like 1 supervisor for every 100 people. So it's hard to corral that. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, maybe 15, 20 people messing up, and then they start messing with, you know, my day because now they won't let us keep our time cards. So they want to take our time card at the beginning of the day and give it to us. I got to punch in while they're watching you. Then you got to give it back, punch out for lunch. They give it to you. And then at the end of the day, now the problem is my biggest issue is they used to give us, you could punch in 5 minutes early and leave 5 minutes early. Mm-hmm. You know, as a grace period, right? Mm-hmm. So it was nice because the leaving part allows me to get to my kids faster to pick them up. Mm-hmm. But that 5 minutes at the end kills me now because now I'm literally at the end of the line and it makes an extra 20 minutes waiting in that daggone line to pick up my kids for school.
Adult math is the worst thing ever invented.
I'm telling you.
Adult math is crazy.
It's stupid because literally this is only happening because like 10, 15, 20 people on each shift don't want to, they want to do whatever they want, trying to trick the clock. And these people are penny pitching so hard. They're like, nah, we're done with it. It's enough over. So let's mess up everybody. And it's just so frustrating right now, man. I'm like, because it's not going to work. Because the other problem they're having now, they want us all at the same time clock. So you got 40 people at one time clock trying to clock out.
People are gonna leave late. People are gonna be putting in overtime.
So does that make some people late when they're trying to clock in for work? If you got everybody trying to clock in at the same time,
they think they're trying to work it out. So I think like you get 8 clicks for a grace period, but still, like you won't. That means you're gonna have to stay an extra click just at the end of your day that you don't want to stay. It's just
right.
It's a mess. They have 100 clocks around the whole area. Like I had a good route how I can get in and get out of that place. Now it's like it don't even matter because I gotta sit here and wait. It's frustrating.
I understand. Yeah, I understand, man. I definitely understand. I don't have that issue
So
with my job, but I understand what you. I've had jobs like that. That micromanaging, it's ridiculous. I
yes,
hate it. I
but
hate
it's
it.
because one guy said this is a problem, so this is how we're going to solve it. But now they're, even the supervisors are mad because like it's causing extra work for them.
Hmm.
That they could be putting somewhere else. So
Hmm.
it's so crazy. Like I figure you should be able to, because you can see what's happening on people's clock rings. So get those people, like, suspend them or so, do something to affect them and not every single person. Do you think like we're gonna, do like the army or something, get a sock with some soap in it and start like that's what I feel like they're trying to create like this herd mentality, and I'm like, no, no, we're just gonna, yell and moan until it goes away, because they've already tried this. I've talked to a bunch of people. They said they tried this like 12 years ago, and it lasted about a month. So I said, okay, well, we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
most of that stuff. A lot of times when they start micromanaging like that, it doesn't last. It'll go for a couple of weeks and then it gets back to going to normal. So I hear you.
So we'll see how that goes, because I've been off for 2 days, so I haven't heard anything from anybody yet, but we'll see how it's going.
Okay. All right.
That's all I got, man, for now. I'm getting
All right.
into May's about to be super busy for me.
Yeah.
So
Why is May busy? Is it for Mother's Day? Is that why?
no, I mean Mother's Day and Memorial Day and all that, but I got birthdays on top
Graduation.
of birthdays on top of
Okay.
birthdays. We do Comic Con is in May.
Hmm.
Just everything I seem to really enjoy. It just happens all. Oh, my anniversary. Can't forget
Okay.
that one. Yeah, so it's just
Yeah. Don't forget
everything
that
in
one.
May. No, I won't forget that one.
Okay.
Literally in 1 week, I have like my anniversary, my birthday, and then Mother's Day and my sister's birthday. And
Okay.
then the next week, it's all, my son, Comic Con, and their play is my birthday week. So my son he got a part in, I forget what the play is called, but it's basically like a production, like a quirky, not so Disney production, something. But
Hmm.
anyhow,
Okay.
he's on stage for all but two scenes, so he's doing that. And then my daughter, this will be the last one for 8th grade that she does behind the scenes, and then she's going to high school next year. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll
All
see how
right.
that goes. Angel, how you been, man?
Man, just been pushing, man. Just a long
Done
week
with
already.
vacation, right? No,
Yeah, long
no
week
more
already,
spring break.
man. Nope.
That's what the issue is, Joe. That's what
Shit,
the issue is.
I
He was
wish it was because of that. I wish it was because of that. Just long stressful conversations. Just long days, man. That's it,
it's
man.
it is today is Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday.
That's the
Yeah,
sad part,
And
right?
you're saying it's a long week and it's
That's
Tuesday?
the sad part. That's the sad part. So yeah, that's really it, man. Just about that. Highlight of my weekend was getting to chop it up with Ski and laugh it up with him.
Okay.
So yeah, that was really it, man.
All right. All right. Nothing else you want to talk about? Nothing else?
what tournament was that?
What tournament? What are you talking about?
That you was talking to Ski, not competing at.
I don't, I don't even know what you're talking about, man. I was talking to Ski on the phone.
My
Yeah,
bad.
Ski's a good dude, man. Ski is hilarious. I'll tell you that. Ski's hilarious, and got got like a real like a Marvin Gaye like cool just like demeanor to him. Like he just be sitting there just like with his shades on, but he's inside. Like, it don't even make no sense. But like he's just cool. You know what I mean? Like mad cool. Ski's cool, man. He's a
that,
funny
that
dude.
that 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 that's always been him, man. We've known each
Like
other since we were 11 years old, man. So
yeah.
that's always been him.
We talked about a few plowing stories that were hilarious, so that was cool. But yeah, we were
Oh,
sitting
there's a
there. It
lot
was
of them.
just he was sitting there. At one point, I was just like, "Why is he wearing glasses? Like, it's not even like, what are you doing?" But yeah, so
All right. All right, cool. Everything's been going good with me, man. I don't know what is going on. Really wish I did know what was going on, man. I've had just a lot of new kids coming into the school lately for the last few months. I just told Joe earlier, Angel, I had 4 new kids sign up yesterday. which is pretty cool. It was 3 kids and then 1 teenager that signed up. So it's gonna be interesting how his class go. I'm making some changes to the curriculum and making some room for all the kids and everything. And this week is testing week. Since next week I have to go to Indianapolis, so we're having testings this week. And the way I do my testings, we have a striping evaluation at the end of every month. But I also make tournaments part of the testing evaluation. So if you go to a tournament, you don't have to test.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
Yeah, so I have a group of kids that went to the tournament. Well, they've been going to the tournaments all year, so I have to present them with new belts. I'm gonna have some new green belts. So my green and blue belt class is about to go from 8 kids to 16 real quick. So but those kids, they're doing good, and I have some kids that are getting ready to be red belts in a couple of months, and then my red belts are about to be, they're testing for their black belts. They're having that second part of that test next month. So we just been, I've just been tightening them up on different things, and I'm ready for them to get it over with, man. They have 3 weeks until they do this next part of their test, and I'm ready for them to get it over with. I'm tired of getting up on Sunday mornings, working with them Sunday mornings for 2 hours. I'm ready. I'm ready for this black belt camp to be over with. They've been at it a year now, man. They've been at it a year, so it's time for them to finish, and then I get a nice little break because my next group that's going to be testing for their black belts, they're a little ways away. So I got about at least a year or 2 before I have another group come behind
Okay, that's
them.
cool.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be your first set of black belts, right?
Yeah, this is my first set. The closest I've had is I was teaching at a community center, well, not a community center, a health club back in the day, and I got some students up to red belt, but I ended up getting a full-time job, and those kids I had to send to my uncle's school for them to finish up,
Yeah.
and 1 or 2 of them ended up getting their black belt from him. But I was able
Awesome.
to, but I was able to put the black belt on them.
That's cool.
Yeah. But other than that, my first official group of black belt kids, this is gonna be my first group right here.
Okay, cool,
So,
man. That's dope. That's really dope, bro.
yeah, and Champ's back into it, and he's back training, and he's actually enjoying it
Man.
now. So that's good. So maybe next year he might start competing next year,
That'd be
January.
good, man.
Arctic Challenge.
Has he ever competed before or no?
No, he's never competed before. So Arctic
Listen,
Challenge
man,
might be his first.
I'm like so tempted to put my 2-year-old nephew into a tournament.
I don't think
for
they have
real.
divisions for 2-year-olds yet.
No, yeah, bro. I was about to put him in the 5 and under. No, I'm being serious. Like, you guys don't. I know it sounds funny. This is not no regular 2-year-old. I'm not even joking. Like, I could be doing a black belt for him, and he'll start copying all the movements right there on the spot.
Okay.
And he looks like, for his age, I'm like, well, I don't even know how he does this.
Do you guys have a 3 or 4-year-old class?
Yeah, he does the class.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be funny. Like, he's the leader. and there's literally there's orange belts and all that. And he's out of all the white belts, he's the white belt with a yellow stripe. But he honestly knows what he in all seriousness, last week or 2 weeks ago, my dad, my brother wasn't here. He went on vacation, so we had the baby. So I'm teaching. I'm running the school the whole week. So I was like, all right, let's go, boom, boom. Time to go to, because I call him boom, boom, because he likes it when he punches, he just goes boom, boom, boom. So I'm all right, let's go, boom, boom. We're going. So we go to the dojo, take him, right, walk him in. He comes in, he bows, he knows everything. And my dad gets there, and then my dad's babying him on the side. So we get done, and he ended up not doing his class. So I yelled at him. I pulled him over. I said, listen, sir. I was like, you're supposed to be in class with Uncle. Stop going over there to Papa and get in class next time. I don't want to see that again. And I told my dad, I said, don't come because you're going to make a habit and he's not going to want to do class. My dad's like, yeah, but he can't do this stuff. I said, don't come, but come at the end and watch. He'll do all these stuff the kids are doing. I'm having him work on roundhouse chambers. He's sitting there with his hand on the wall at 2 years old, putting his leg and shooting it like a Taekwondo roundhouse, straight up in the air. And everyone looks at me and they're just and I tell him, I was like, I don't teach him that. That's him. When I'm at home, when I'm anywhere, my nephew, all he wants to do is karate. When I have a day off from work and I stay home, He wants to be downstairs and he wants to get my gloves. He wants to put on my headgear and he likes to bounce around and just fight. That's all he wants to do all day.
It's funny you say that because that's exactly what I used to do at my grandmother's house. I used to have Reese,
Bro.
my uncle's headgear on, his hand pads, his feet pads. I know it probably pissed him off. It probably did. He never said nothing to me, or maybe he said something to my grandmother like, "Don't let them kids play with my stuff," But I definitely did that with my uncle.
I mean, I just get annoyed because I'll go lay on the bed and he's like, Angel, fight, Angel, fight. And he gives me gloves and then he tells me what to do. He's like, punch, kick. And I'm like, I don't want to spar. Like, we're done. There's nothing else to do. So that's why I'm so tempted to like just put him in and watch him. Like, the thing is, he just gets really shy around people. So that's why I don't. But I took him to Ocean States. He went to the night show. This boy is literally creating creative forms. He's doing like a forward roll, running around, doing jumping jacks. If you tell him, he'll just start doing this. He just starts doing because that's what he sees. And I'm just like people think I'm joking until they see him, and then everyone's like, "What the heck?" Like, what they all say it. They're like, "What did you do to him?" I was like, "I swear it's not even me. I swear that's what he loves to do." Yeah, because people think I'm like doing like karate classes at home all day. I'm like, no,
he's
like
a prodigy, man.
Yeah, good. Like
does your brother fight in tournaments or just forms?
Every once in a while he'll get out there and fight.
And do you do forms or just fight?
Same thing. Every once in a while I'll go and do forms.
So what do you think your nephew is? He going to be a fighter or a forms guy?
I don't know, bro. I literally like we have that talk all the time. I literally don't know. I think he genuinely just loves karate. That's what I've noticed. And you want to know what I think a big and you want to know what I thought a big part of it was? And you tell me if you guys ever had this happen with you or if you ever done this with your kids. When the baby was like a couple months, like 6, 7, 8 months, when he was a year old, we used to take him, me and my brother, because that was the only time we could train was the baby had to come. So we would keep him in the car seat and sit him. And he'd just watch us spar, watch us do stuff. So then every once in a while, I would take my gloves off, they clean ones, and I'll give it to him. So while we're sparring, he has a glove and he's playing with it. And he feels the glove. I think like that did something. I really do. I really do. Because he saw us spar so much. He's seen us spar a ridiculous amount. And when he was growing up. Even just like in his first year and a half, he always saw us sparring. So
yeah, sometimes I did have to take Champ with me, and I did exactly what you said. Like if I had a Saturday morning kickboxing class, a cardio kickboxing class that I had to teach, and if his mom was sick and in the hospital or something like that, then he would be with me and he'll be in his car seat on the floor. The women in there didn't mind, and after I got done doing that, I would teach the karate class, and the kids they didn't mind. Like they used to laugh, see him running around, the school. So
well, that's the thing. I started teaching the karate. The way he got into it was I was teaching the karate classes, and then he would want to just watch. He would just sit down and just watch and just love to watch. Then I would let him take his shoes off and I let him run around. So I'll teach the classes and he just runs around and he would like tire himself out. And then I pick him up and I'm holding him. Then he'll go to sleep. Eventually, all that turned into he started doing jumping jacks. He started doing little stuff. So finally, I told my brother, I was like, "Yo, get him a gi, like get him a uniform, put him in the gi, and like let's just see what happens." He loved it, and then I was the one that said we should give him I was like, when we did our first belt promotion a couple months ago, back in like December or November, I was like, we're missing a belt for Boom Boom. He's like, we're not giving him a belt. Like my brother was like, we're not doing that, and I was like, and I looked at him, I said, you realize he knows the yellow belt curriculum. Just naturally, like that's just what he knows. I was like, get him a white belt with a yellow stripe, man. Like he earned that. Can he? And I said, I was like, I don't even want him to have the belt because then he thinks he's high and mighty. But then, like,
where did you get a gi his size? Like
we literally got quadruple zero.
You found a quadruple? I've never seen one.
I think it's Century. I think it's a Century uniform.
I was about to ask you, did you go to Build-A-Bear and get one? Because I've never seen a quadruple. And I've had some kids, like literally, like there are little kids and the 000 is swallowing them up. And I'm like, it can't get any smaller.
You said a Build-A-Bear?
Yeah. Go to Build-A-Bear and get a uniform and throw it on them. I don't know.
Bro, listen, he wears a quadruple zero. The crazy thing is, I think at first we used to roll it up. Mm-hmm. And then now I think we wear it on him normal, and he runs around all happy and everything. I went.
Okay.
I got home from vacation, and I went to go see him because he hasn't seen me, and he was kept asking for me all week. So I went to go see him. A 5 minute visit turned into an hour and a half. I told my mom was like, "Oh, how was it?" I was like, by the end of the time I left, they have a pink belt laying around for him just to wear whenever he feels like putting on his belt.
Okay.
I was like, next thing I know, he puts on a belt and he's doing karate. I was like, I just can't escape it. Like, I want to relax, and he just wants to do karate. So it's who
Okay.
he is, man. I don't. It's in his blood. Like I'm. The biggest thing is I don't want to push him into tournaments, but I just want him to do one because I just think he'll just enjoy. I think if he loves karate that much, he'll just be like, man, this is just cool. I get to show off. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go and show off. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. That's
That'll
pretty
be
cool.
fun.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah,
Other than that, man, I've just been experimenting with my curriculum, making some changes. And the cool thing is, I'm actually experimenting with the changes with Champ. That's really what I've been doing, and he's been enjoying it and having fun. I'm like, okay, cool. That's a keeper. That's a keeper. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. So it's working pretty good. And like I was talking with Joe, I'm moving some stuff around for the kids because like I said, I'm about to have some kids that'll be they're going to be black belts. And what I'm doing, instead of them having their own black belt class, I'm just going to put the teens and the adults together and have class. You know, I think that's going to that's going to be the best way for me to do that with my time and
yeah,
expand their class from 45 minutes to an hour for the teens and adults. So I think that's going to work out pretty good, and put the black belts with them.
yeah. I
Um,
think that'll work out good, man. And
yeah, yeah.
it's funny you say that with Champ. I do that with the baby, bro. And for his class, I'm always trying like little stuff out. I just see what works because I'm like, yo, if they're like it, I could just
Hmm.
make it a little bit more challenging, and then the next age group will like it. And
Yeah.
then from there, I'll do something. I'll add a little twist, and then my like preteens and my teenagers will like it. And my adults will like it.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
constantly just look, and I'm like, all right, if the basic idea works, I just got to make it challenging to the age level, and it'll still be good.
Hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
So
And
yeah,
then also, I finally got Melissa into it now, so she's about to start training now also, and I'm going to have her eventually. She's going to take over the women's self defense portion. We're going to start doing women's self defense seminars once a month at the school,
that's really
and
good, bro. That's good.
I'm going to have her take charge of that and let that be her thing. So getting her trained up on that, and of course she wants to be in the school a little bit more and start doing some of the technical stuff that Champ's mom was doing before, some of the paperwork, stuff like that. So she's gonna make her way into being up there a little bit more. So that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it with me. We got 1 month left. Tomorrow makes 1 month for that day, the wedding day. I got one
Oh,
month
Yep.
left.
bro, you
So
had me. I'm over here like one
I
month.
saw
I'm
your
like,
face. I saw you looking like, what was he talking about? But yeah, I
I knew
got
what he was talking about.
1 month until that day. So we're finishing it up, man. Like I've been saying, I just ready to get it over with. That's one less thing on the plate. One less
yeah,
thing on the plate. One less thing to think about.
Right.
One less thing to have to
Take the
spend money on.
plunge. Take the plunge.
Well, I mean, yeah, So all right, let's talk about this movie.
Roadhouse, 1989. Pretty much the
1989.
same. Pretty much the same movie. They changed a few things here and there, but
I'm gonna
I
be
mean,
honest.
for
I
the
was gonna
most
tell you
part,
guys. I'm like, what are we gonna talk about with this one? Because we're just gonna say everything all
oh,
over
there's
again.
plenty to talk about. There's plenty to talk about,
Yeah,
but I
but you
mean,
know what, Joe? I kind of disagree a little bit. I kind of disagree a little bit.
no,
Um,
there's a lot of changes, but
yeah,
there's
there's a
pretty
lot of
much
changes.
start to
I don't
finish. It was mostly the same
what
movie.
what I wanted to ask you guys was, um did you guys look on Wikipedia or anything about this movie or anything like that? I didn't.
No,
Okay, but what one of the things that I noticed, I know that Frank, the owner of the Roadhouse, his name was similar to Frankie from the 2024 version.
yeah,
But I
he's
did
Frank
not stop to look. I did
Tingleman,
not, huh?
Frank Tillman or Tellman.
Right, right. But what I didn't do is I didn't look to see if the other characters in this movie had the same names as the other characters in the last movie in the 2024 version. I knew Frank did, and I know Dalton did, but I don't know about
Yeah.
anyone else. Do you guys know?
No, because
Mm-mm.
the one thing they didn't even have. So the one thing I liked in this one is he had a friend to help him out in Sam
Yes,
Elliott's character,
yes,
and I
yes.
think that would have helped. That would have helped Jake Gyllenhaal's character, Dalton version of
Mm-hmm.
Dalton, to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that right there, I really enjoyed that because I think when you have a movie like this, like when you have a really strong main character, to have a good, playing second fiddle, but they're still a good character. To
Mm-hmm.
me, like that helps bring that other character up. So I like that aspect of it. It gave him more to fight for compared to the one we watched before with
Mm-hmm.
Jake Gyllenhaal, because really he didn't know anybody in this town,
No.
and so the thing that pissed him off in the new one that we watched was like him going after the townspeople.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the end of this one, he
Mm.
really was set off. He was only set off by them taking out his buddy, which made
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot of sense because, like, he came up with that they mentored each other for a long
Mm-hmm.
time in this game.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I enjoyed about this one is they gave his character a different title than just a bouncer.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a lot more sense because just like the Dalton in the first of the Jake Gyllenhaal version,
Mm-hmm.
we're always watching him. He's almost always trying to stay out of the fight and letting other people do it and this and
Mm-hmm.
that. But they gave him a name in this. They called him the Cooler.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you say, okay, you're all the bouncers, I'm the Cooler. He is the main bouncer, but he's the one who's supposed to keep things under control. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I got from that, just from that title, the Cooler. Because
Okay.
what you can't have in these situations is a bunch of guys who just want to fight, and then the guy who's in charge is the same way. That's the first thing he did is when he showed up in Kansas, he got rid of the guy who was in charge because that guy just wanted to beat everyone up and show how big and bad he was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, to me, that's why Frank brought him over as the Cooler, or guy in charge to fix everything,
Mm-hmm.
because he knew, just like Frankie knew in the other one, he knew the problems that were really coming. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, he never said anything about it. Now, the other thing that killed me about this, though, that I'm just realizing now, he asked for the same amount of money in '89 that Jake Gyllenhaal asked him for in 2024.
I was wondering if that was the case because I was they okay. So with Frankie in the last one in the 2024 version, she said she was going to give him $20,000, right? She said five thousand
Basically, yes.
dollars. She said $5,000 a week.
Room and board,
For huh?
and plus room and board.
Right. So she said it like that. They didn't word it that way in this version. I don't know if it was the same amount of money. I thought they said he was going to get paid $750 a day.
No, I could have swore he told Frank when he first seen him like 5,000 a week or something. That's what I thought. Maybe you're right.
I'm not sure. I thought he said $750 a day.
Okay,
But
then never mind. Then
but if
I
so,
thought
then
I heard
that's
him.
going to be more. That's going to be more than what
Well, then it really doesn't make sense because inflation really didn't hit 2024. I guess.
Well, it's a reboot, so I mean,
I know. I'm just it just
it's a
poking fun.
remake.
That's all.
It's a remake. There's the difference between a reboot and a remake. Don't get the film
I
guy
literally
going.
don't. I literally don't have the mental patience for your warfare today. So
No, that's
it's a
not me.
remake.
I mean
It's
that's
a
real.
remake.
Yeah, they're there. But so talking on that though, Joe, I know I bring Star Wars up a lot, but you know how when what's the name of the Star Wars movie that came back out, I think what was it 20 not
15.
15, I think was it
Return
15,
of the Jedi.
Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Force
Force
Awakens.
Awakens.
When
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Force Awakens first came out, everyone said that it was like A New Hope.
No.
But to me, it was similar, but it was different at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of look at these two versions of Roadhouse. Yeah, they're similar, but I think this one had. I don't know. I don't know which one I like better. Like they both were pretty good, but this one seemed like it had more substance to the movie. To me.
I think so too.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not
I
tripping.
think
Okay.
so too. No, I
Okay.
agree. It was just first off, this movie is a classic, and
I've
I
never
see
seen it before.
why.
This was my
After
first time.
yeah, well, this is just one of the first movies like where you're seeing a lot of craziness.
Hmm.
And the other thing is, now I will say this: what this movie needed from the other movie is an explanation of where his skills come from, because they give us nothing. No UFC, well, no UFC wasn't around. No boxing, but he did have some martial arts
Oh, he
background.
definitely
Because
did.
he was
He
throwing
definitely did.
spinning kicks. He was doing Tai Chi. He was so he had some form of martial arts background, but there was no explanation given to it. Not that there
I
has to be, but
I thought Wade was his instructor. That's what I thought. I thought Wade taught him.
I mean that makes sense. That would definitely make sense. But Wade looked more like a street brawler than a martial art kind of person.
Well, but also remember when Wade shows up, the blind guy knows who he is.
Yeah,
And the blind guy knew who Dalton was, but I don't remember why the blind guy knew who he was. Do you guys remember?
I don't know that they ever
No.
explained it.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
wasn't tripping. I'm not tripping. Okay.
And then one of the other big differences, so this one actually gave us a club name, not just the Roadhouse. This
Yes.
club name was the Double Deuce. And I don't know where he started, but he went from one place to Kansas, and the other one was in Florida. So, I mean, that's already another kind of comparison being made. So, Kansas to me is a lot different than Florida,
Hmm.
obviously.
Yeah.
And then this one didn't have different bands; it just had the same
Yes.
band
Right. The
every
same
night.
man. Yep. Yep.
So,
So to me, this could have. It seems like it could have been. Well, I should say the 2024 version could have been, if they did it right, they could have just been a continuation of this movie because they've done things like that before. They've
yes,
had
yes,
they've
that could
had
have been.
plenty of movies
What
that
were they gonna make?
mhm.
Who was Jake gonna be? Like his son or?
It could have been him. That could have been his job, is to be a fixture of bars. His job
Yeah,
is to
but
go
then
in
it,
and get
it
the
would have
riffraff
been
off.
two different people.
No, what I'm saying is who cares? They do that in movies all the time. One person dies. If someone
Wait, are you
dies,
saying for them to make a sequel or no?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could have been, if they did it differently, they could have done that.
Hmm. How?
What do you mean? How? All you have to do is just this is the new character. That's it. There's a new person playing this character. That's it. They do it in movies all the time.
But you would want to know, how did we transition to that new
Not
person?
really. In Batman, the very first Batman movie, right?
With Adam
Har-
West,
no, no, no. With
Michael
what's his
Keaton.
name? Michael Keaton. Yes.
Oh, and then they went to Val Kilmer, right?
Yeah, yeah, they did that exactly. All for all of those movies, it's a different guy playing Batman, but it's a continuation of Batman.
It's
Nobody
like
tripped.
the story. The story continued, but the
Yeah,
character changed.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, that was BS. I didn't like it.
Same thing. Nobody cared, Angel. That's what I'm saying. Like nobody was like mad and said, "Oh well, Val Kilmer is now Batman now." They still went and
I'm
watched the
sure people
movie.
did back then.
Probably so, but people still went and watched the movie
Yeah,
because
but
if they didn't,
nowadays everyone doesn't let that go. People don't let that stuff go.
man, they
They
not go.
will
This
they
movie,
will
remember,
cancel a
Angel,
movie.
this movie came out in '89. I never seen this movie. You think I would have cared if they said that Dalton is a different character now? I wouldn't have
But
cared.
I know you're saying that, but like when people start it up, they'll try to cancel the movie. That's what I'm saying there.
Man, I don't think if that was the case, they would have canceled it because, like Joe just said, this was a classic. No one ever, at least I didn't hear anybody talk about don't remake Roadhouse. They just did it.
Oh, I'm sure there's people out there, but
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
like,
But that
I don't
still didn't
mind that
stop the
stuff.
movie from coming out and being a good movie. Because like
True.
like like Joe said, yes, this is similar to the last one, but everything is not. This is not scene for scene the exact same thing that
No,
happened in the
they
2024.
followed the same path, but there are
Yes,
a lot of differences. We did
yes.
Yeah, but
not
there's
get we did not get a Conor McGregor character. We had
Yeah, but
this character that was supposed to be Connor was a whole
hmm
different character.
And
I
like I
know,
said, the
but
thing could have been this guy
And
could have came into him. The guy,
yeah,
Frankie, the girl, she could have said, "Hey, I heard about what you did, at this other bar. I want you
yeah.
to do the same thing at my bar. Clean it up to get rid of all the
shit.
riffraff."
That
What?
means it would have been 40 years later. He still looks that
You
young.
don't know. You could just continue. You could just say it. You don't have to forget that it came out back then.
So
I'm
you're
just saying
Yeah,
you
this is
just doing a
this is
continuation.
2 years later. It's movie magic. You don't need to make it
Right.
anything.
You're thinking too
But
deeply, Angel. You're thinking entirely too deeply.
this is what happens when I started working with you. Now I can't watch a movie and just enjoy it. I have to think like you. It
No,
doesn't make sense.
I'm just saying it did not have to be a whole new remake because there are, yes, like Joe said, there are similarities, but there are a lot of differences also. A whole lot of differences between these two movies, but they're still
the the
enjoyable.
the bad guy's a whole different character because
Yeah,
this is the bad guy the other movie should have had because the son
yeah,
of the guy in prison was
that was
terrible.
stupid. That
This
was stupid.
guy
You know what got me
was
mad?
crazy.
Now that I think about
hmm
it, what got me mad about the other movie was we never got to see who the dad was.
No, that's true because
That
he was
got me
just in prison.
aggravated. That
He
got
was
me
on the
really
phone
aggravated.
twice.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like that was like a big hole that was left in there.
Well, yeah. Well, once
Now
again, both of these were good.
he he likes he does the coffee black thing just like so like I
hmm
said, they're still trying to keep us the same character, but they're not exactly the same, which is fine by me because if when you do a remake, we don't need the exact same movie, even
I
though
feel like
they
they do it
tried
like
to
to
keep
pay
some of the stuff.
homage. They're just trying
Yeah,
to pay homage to
Probably.
it. That's
Yeah,
all.
probably.
and but like I said, the bad guy in this to me was better. They tried to keep a lot of the same stuff. The girl showing up at his place the next day with the breakfast and all that. They did that whole
hmm
thing again, which she wasn't as weird as the other girl, but
No, she
a
was.
little she was a little goofy on her own.
Right.
The hospital girl, I think she didn't have the same name, but a similar name. It was like Emily compared to Ellie or something like that, or
Okay.
Yeah.
something similar.
Okay.
And then instead of being like they didn't really say these guys were drug dealers, but they were running like a protection scheme for the whole town. They basically thought they owned the town. So if you didn't pay protection, we're coming after you. And obviously Frank doesn't want to pay protection. That's why he brings Dalton in.
Yeah. So once again, like those are all a lot of different differences. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, which I like. I like, because I was worried about us, kind of rehashing the same movie, but
To a certain
it's
extent,
not.
I knew that they were similar, but I knew there was going to be some stuff to
hmm
talk about because even instead of the bookstore, we got like an auto parts store. And
hmm
what's the owner of that? His name was Red.
Yeah, red. Yep.
So he was a nice, likable character, and they kind of did him just like they did the bookstore. And then Dalton, one of the first things he does after the first night in the bar is goes and gets a new car because he gave his car away
hmm
when he left to come to Kansas City. And this part was killing me because it took me a minute to figure out until the one scene. He's throwing like 6
Tires.
tires in the back of his car. I'm like, why does somebody need that many tires? Like, what is? And then I was like, oh, like his first night when he was pissing people off, his tire got stabbed. And I was like,
See,
okay,
when I
this is
saw
why this
him
dude
doing
needs
that,
all these tires.
yeah. So what I thought he was doing, I thought he was going to set up some type of punching bag and
Yeah, that's
punch
what
the
I was
tire.
wondering, and then he never did
Yeah.
it. So it
Yeah.
was really that's until that first night, that second night,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
out and he had the knife in the tire. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he was expecting a little
Yes.
things to go down before he really set his feet down. So
hmm
and yeah, that was funny. That was interesting.
Yeah.
He's lots of flat tires and lots of stitches. I
Let me ask you
guess
guys this: did you guys notice anyone else, any other celebrities in this movie?
Terry Funk,
Yep, young Terry Funk.
I didn't
they're
even notice
super
him.
young. Holy
Yeah.
crap!
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know. It took me a minute. I was like, why do I know this guy? And then all of a sudden,
I
I'm
knew it
like,
as soon as he spoke. As soon as
oh,
he
of
spoke, because he
course
has
you
an
did.
yeah. As soon as he spoke, I said, "That's Terry Funk." Yep.
I knew Gene would
I
know
didn't even need.
that.
I didn't even need to Google it. I just knew it as soon as I heard him talk. I said, okay, that's cool. But I was thinking like, damn, he got old fast because this is 89. And when him and
Right?
Mick Foley were teaming up was what 97, 90,
Yep.
98, like
Yep.
10 years later, he looked
That
like
was one of my
a,
favorite. That was
he
one of
looked
my
like a
favorite tag
granddaddy.
teams right there.
I was like, man, but he did take he we actually met him. Malcolm used to bring him, had brought him a few times to uh one of his shows. Yeah, so I met Terry Funk before. Interesting guy.
I bet he seems like an interesting dude the way he acts. So after that first night in the bar, which by the way he didn't fight nobody, he just kind of sat and observed for the most part. And
Hmm.
then his one of his other stipulations when he took the job was it's all he's in charge. He does it his way, and he really starts that the first day. Says it's my
Hmm.
way or the highway. If you got a problem with that, get out. He takes care of the one guy already right off the bat. Just fires him. Get out. Then he saw another guy was a girl or something that was selling drugs. He
Hmm.
told her that's we sell alcohol and good times, no drugs, And he basically said anybody got a problem with that, you're out. I mean, even during the shift that day, one of the main guys was bartending. He was, taking money on the side, pouring drinks a little light and everything. So he's takes the job very serious. So he's gets rid of that dude, and that's where that starts the problem because I guess that guy was he was with the big boss man. So
What is wrong with that guy also? Because this guy was looking like, because I think Dalton even said like he's costing you, like he told Frank he's costing you like $150 a night or something like that. And that guy didn't seem like it was a problem.
yeah.
Because after a month, that's gonna add up. You
Oh
know.
yeah. You talking Frank didn't think it was a problem because Frank didn't want to
No,
mess
no,
with.
no, not Frank. Frank didn't say anything. No, when he told him the guy, the bartender guy, he was like, "So what?"
Oh, I know
Yeah, he was like, "So what?"
because he
Like,
figured his job was secure because once Dalton found out who he was working for, and that blew up in his face because Dalton didn't care.
hmm, yeah,
So
okay.
yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of different stuff on this, but I mean, for the most part, pretty similar stuff. So he's cleaning house. He hasn't. I mean, we've been almost 30 minutes into the movie, and I don't think Dalton's really even been in an altercation yet, like not a real one.
Right.
Um,
So
Yeah,
I
we
thought
just
that
kind of
was
get
interesting.
introduced to a lot of the characters, and one thing I like that Dalton did in this movie was, he didn't go for a houseboat this time.
No,
I mean, he did live in a barn. Was that a barn he was living in?
yeah, like on top of
Yeah, yeah.
it was nicer than the houseboat though.
Yeah, it was. I wish they would explain. I wish they kind of would have explained why he didn't have a problem with it. I mean, the owner that was renting it out said, that people had came by and most people couldn't, they didn't want to deal with the smell of the horses or wherever,
Yeah,
and he didn't seem to care. But why? Like why is he like that? That's what I really wanted to know. Like, what is his motivation to live? Like, you just want to just get up just to protect bars. That's it. You don't want anything else. With both movies, they never really gave him
yep.
like any type of want or anything.
No, I
But why
think
is
that
he
was
just
his
settling for this
expectation.
simple life?
I think that was like this is what he knows and this is what he wants to do. And then his backstory in this was he had a situation where someone held him up with a gun and they said that he killed the person by ripping their throat out. That's what the whole thing about this movie. I remember when I used to hear about this movie before I watched it was this like the one of the first times you see people getting their throats ripped out.
Is that what happened? I thought I didn't take that as how
You
that
didn't
happened.
see it's mentioned twice that this
No, no, no,
self-defense thing.
not that part. I thought that he was talking to a woman and he didn't know she was married, and the
Yes,
guy came
with a
came
gun.
and yeah, okay.
Yeah,
The way you kind of
yeah,
said it, I
but
just thought he was just being robbed, and
oh no,
then
no, no, no. Sorry,
okay,
that was the altercation that
okay,
made him that messed up his head
okay, 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 yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
one of the guys in the Double Deuce was talking about it. Like he doesn't know if it was true, but he said that's what he heard. And then later on, his buddy mentions it to him like it was never your fault. Like when somebody puts a gun in your face, what do you got to do? It's either they shoot you or you kill them, which is not necessarily true. If you disarm somebody, you don't got to rip their throat out. But I'm just saying,
you gotta be safe. You gotta be safe, bro.
Yeah, but if you're able to disarm someone, like break their finger, don't kill them.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what maybe that's why the new Dalton decided let me take a better approach.
Let me beat somebody up in the ring or the cage
until the end of this movie. I'm just saying, man. And like I said, so he is the Tai Chi always kills me when you see like a karate guy doing Tai Chi, because like I know I'm not even gonna open that bag of worms, but whatever.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Listen, man, I'm not. You know what? Screw it. I don't care. That's how I roll. No, I'm not saying it's not a martial art, because it is. It's a form of martial art, but it's a meditative, relaxing. You're not going to beat anybody up using traditional Tai Chi. You're going to need punches and kicks and everything. Is all I'm saying.
Angel.
I mean, Tai Chi is made for the redirection of energy.
Okay.
Are we correct?
I honestly, that's why I'm saying I don't really know. From when I watch the forms, I don't know. Like I say, okay, they're beautiful, they're great, they're very
but you could say that you could say that about our 1 steps, our 3 steps. Like you could say the same thing.
Okay, I
I
haven't seen Tai Chi be applied to a fight. Okay, that's all I'm saying. If somebody wants to prove me wrong, perfect,
I don't know.
No problem.
I don't know about that. I think someone did prove you wrong. Anderson Silva.
He was a Tai Chi artist.
I ain't never seen Anderson Silva use Tai Chi in the UFC.
He used what Steven Seagal was teaching him.
What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about
Steven
right now?
Seagal trained Anderson Silva for one of the fights.
He probably did show him some stuff. Steven Seagal shows a lot of people stuff. I'm not sure if they use it.
But Steven Seagal, wasn't he a keto? Not.
Yes, he was a keto.
Tai Chi.
Yeah, but he also was well versed in Western philosophy of martial arts. Ha! So you guys need
I don't know about this one, Adrian. I don't know, man.
I'm telling you, Tai Chi is the redirection of energy. So if I have you throwing punches and kicks at me, that's energy. So I'm gonna redirect it. Yeah, just because I'm not hitting you doesn't mean it's not like it's ineffective.
Yeah,
I've seen. Not getting hit is a form of blocking. I'm just putting that out there. Just saying.
Yes, I've seen Goku and Vegeta redirect energy when it comes at them. I've seen them do it. So you're right with them. They can do anything. They're wonderful. But I don't know. You mean to tell me if some Tai Chi person came up to you and wanted to, if they were at an open tournament, you will worry about them blasting you with energy?
I bet. It's not about blasting them. It's not about them blasting me with energy. It's about.
So glad I brought this up.
It's about. It's okay. It's the fact that you wouldn't know what they were doing. You would probably get hit and get scored on, right?
Bullshit.
Then imagine.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I fought a lot of kung fu people in tournaments. For whatever reason, those people were always my first fight when we used to line up as kids, right? And even teenagers and adults. Always got a weird person to fight first. I've never lost to any of those people. None of them. Zero. Some Peter Davenport brought some weird kids to our school one time to train with us. Some kung fu guys. I beat the shit out of them. So I've never, ever got touched with their Tai Chi. They didn't touch me with their energy.
Okay, but listen, maybe it's because it wasn't the right setting. It wasn't the right setting. It wasn't the right setting. They could have been white belts. You don't know that.
I don't remember. I don't.
If they didn't have a black sash on, you never know.
I really don't remember. You have to ask Pete. We would have to ask Pete.
All I'm saying is, Tai Chi is a martial art. Like that's number one. Number two, it could be an effective martial art. It could be an effective martial art, just like boxing, just like Western boxing. It all depends on how you're using it in the environment that is being used.
And what me and Joe are saying, we don't understand how it can be used for self-defense. I mean, it's good. I can understand if we're going to talk about it's good for our health because it's some form of exercise. I get that, and I'm quite sure it might have some type of muscle toning, like yoga. I get that, but as far as combat, I don't know about Tai Chi. I don't know.
I think
I
there
think
are Tai Chi movies that we could watch to prove this. I'm gonna look some up just for fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Mike up to replace me when we do that. When we do some Tai Chi.
why would we
I'm not gonna
even
even tell.
do
I'm
that?
not gonna even tell him like, hey man, they want you to step in for me this week. You, you guys are gonna watch this movie.
He's not gonna watch. He's not gonna step into that landmine.
Yeah, I know he's gonna cuss me out if I did that. He's gonna send me a crazy message back. I know.
Honestly, though, I think there is a highly ranked one. I think there's one that has a high score on it. So I'm curious to see
I
what
don't
that is.
know.
I'm gonna look it
I've never seen it, so I don't know. I don't know what is effective and what's not. But just like all types of martial arts, especially traditional martial arts, there are probably some things that are good and helpful for you, and then there's other things that probably should have retired back in the 1600s.
That's crazy
Mhm.
that you're even saying that. That's wild. That's a
What?
bold statement. That's a
What?
bold statement.
That's what are you talking about? Like that's true. No one signed their kid up to come see me for karate for one steps or forms. Right? That did not happen. They brought their kid number one to my school for self defense. Number one. Number two, it would be for working on their self control and discipline and stuff like that. And forms of one steps help with that. But if I'm teaching my kids how to fight, I'm not teaching them one steps or forms to actually defend themselves. It's a good exercise tool. It's something good to help them uh, uh, accomplish goals. Because they got to know their one steps in order to go from point A to point B. They got to know the forms to go from point A to point B. That's fine. But I'm not ever telling my kids to do basic form number 8 if they have to defend themselves.
So what about capoeira?
It's cool. It's cool to look at.
Is it
It was cool in the
would
movie.
you have that for self defense?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen a real fighter.
I'm gonna tell you right now. There's been
They
some
just
videos
showed-
that have been getting.
They
they've-
just showed
there's
the
been-
first UFC or not UFC, but MMA capoeira fighter winning some fights. Now I didn't see the ones that he lost, but they showed some of the ones that he won, and he was pretty effective.
I'm
what?
just saying in MMA.
No, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Like, was it in the UFC, Joe, or was it like some?
No,
other...
it was I think it was a like a minor league something. But I mean, there was like 6 fights that this dude won. Couple with a kick, one with a jump, flying, spinning punch or something. And his movement was hard. Like he wasn't just using capoeira. He was using the Jenga. He was using the spin kicks, and like those were effective because he could switch his from low to high. And then, but he also would stop and like the one he missed with the low kick and the high kick, and then the guy came to grab him and he hit him with a Muay Thai knee. That was not a capoeira kick. It was a knee, and the knee is what hit him.
So is it the skill of the martial artist or what they've learned in practice, which makes that art form effective? Which is it?
It's the second one. I mean, he just said he used the movement of capoeira to set up a knee. If he didn't have the movement of capoeira, he wouldn't have never thrown the knee.
Or he could have just hit somebody with a fucking knee.
If it's that easy, he would have done that.
The skill of the martial arts. What I'm saying is the skill of the martial artist, right? Because anybody.
I think we just came up with a main point. I think we just came up with a main point.
Yeah,
I mean-
for real. We're over here making content without even trying. Like you know what's crazy, Gene? I have a headache, and I told myself you're not gonna raise my blood pressure, and you're still raising my blood pressure. Like I don't understand how you do this shit. Like I told myself I was gonna be calm today, and now I'm getting aggravated by that one comment that you just said. He shouldn't fucking need him. If he could have, he would have. Like this
Not-
doesn't.
like I said, like what I'm saying, man. Like everybody. Okay, look at this. Everyone can't fight like Raymond Daniels. That's
Okay.
because that's his skill. That's the athlete. You see
He
what
got
I'm saying?
ripped off on Saturday, by the way.
Huh?
Okay.
He got ripped off over the weekend.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I didn't watch the fight.
It was BS. That
Everybody
pissed me off
can't,
so much.
but someone could train with him and do the exact same thing. But just because you train with him and do the exact same thing doesn't mean you can still pull off this type of fight like he does, right?
Okay.
So
No, I agree with that. I'm gonna agree with that on that one. Sorry.
But there's
I did.
but there's been instances. It's getting proven all the time that that's not true.
what do you mean that's not true?
Okay, so off of your logic, right?
Mhm. I'm saying it's the practitioner, it's the student, it's the martial artist, not necessarily the what he is doing.
I think it is. I think it's what he's doing. If that's the case, think about how many people are adopting karate style type movements now.
That's a whole nother topic. But no, that's not the same, Angel. I'll help you out. I'll help you out. It's jujitsu,
Okay.
right? So once people saw how effective jujitsu was when it came to fighting, it changed the game for MMA, right? Everyone, you had to know jujitsu if you wanted to be a cage fighter, right?
Uh-huh.
If capoeira, when it comes to fighting, was that effective, we will see more people doing it when it comes to fighting. That
You're
hasn't
saying
happened.
just because it's so you're saying
That
because
hasn't
it's not a
If it was as effective as you say, then more people would be doing it when it comes to fighting.
But are we gonna start using that as our metric? Like
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? And that's the case. Then it would not just be the case just in cage fighting either. You will see
So-
capoeira being done in point fighting also.
so then you
More
can make
on
the
a
case.
grand level. If it's that
Yeah.
effective, if you're saying it's as good as you're saying, then we should see it in other forms of fighting, whether it's boxing, MMA, point fighting, kickboxing. We should see it more, but we don't. Like you're talking about a one-off person who are able to defend themselves using capoeira. But just because that person can do it doesn't mean everybody can do it. You know,
But then
he
that's
could have
the
been
same.
fighting bums. It could have been a setup. We don't know. We don't know the stipulations. We don't know everything that
I
came
agree
with
with you
it.
on that part. I agree with you on that part. But then you can also make the same argument that now everyone's trying to learn karate style movement. Everybody's trying to
yes.
learn that.
Yeah, but this is the thing with that. That what we do is something that it's not like boxing. It's not like you're not going to learn what we do in 6 months. It can't happen.
No.
You have to train for a couple years in order to get good at doing the type of movement that we're doing. And these guys don't have the discipline and patience to do that for years. Most guys don't. You just can't bring somebody in for a couple of weeks for a camp for 8 weeks and think you're gonna get it. It ain't gonna work.
You don't think
It's
so?
not. No, it's not gonna work. No, it's
No,
not
man.
gonna work.
I'm seeing a lot of people do it.
Tyrone Woodley brought in Avery when he fought Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
It didn't work. He didn't win.
He got a draw, I thought he did beat him.
For that fight, I
Thought
don't
he
think
beat him, or
did.
he got a draw or beat him. He didn't lose. Wonder Boy's never been a champion.
I don't
Wonder
think,
Boy's never been a champion.
I'm not talking about that. Was that for the title?
Yeah. Tyrone Woodley was a champion at that time.
When he brought Avery in?
Yeah.
Let me look that up.
Because he
won that fight.
He fought him
He
back.
won it by
fought him back to
points.
back.
Yeah, he won points.
He won on points.
He fought Wonder Boy back to back. Because he brought in Avery and brought in and worked with Raymond the next fight.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying though. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, he was able to understand Wonder Boy's movement and then was able, he didn't knock him out, yada yada, whatever, but still won the fight.
I didn't even get a chance to watch that fight yet. Was it a fight?
No,
What was
not a
bad
good
about it? What was bad
we're
about
talking
it?
about the Wonder Boy and Tyron Woodley.
Yeah,
It was the fact that he knew the movement. So what is Tyron Woodley known for?
he's a wrestler.
Exactly. So all he did was he was just a wet leaf on him.
So, like I said, so he didn't even use what the techniques that Avery helped him with to win the fight.
He didn't
resorted
need to.
wrestling.
He didn't need to. He understood Wonder Boy's distance and footwork and timing. So he said, okay, obviously I can't beat you in the realm that you're a specialist at, but what I can do is learn your footwork and your timing and your patterns, and then I can take you down from that.
Maybe that's the interesting topic. That's another interesting topic. I'm not
I'm
sure.
on my shit today, and I'm not even feeling good.
I didn't say you were correct. I said that's an interesting topic. All right, Joe. I have no fucking idea where we're at, and we've been cussing a lot too.
Yeah.
It's all good. No, there's a few more things. So from this point, he scores with the doc. One thing about this movie that I think the other movie needed was a lot less of Connor's ass and at least some females. This one had more of that than the other one.
I got tired of watching Connor's booty.
Yes,
that
I
was
know.
that was. This guy.
I feel like he put that. I feel like he put that in his contract. He said, "I gotta get naked."
It seemed like Conor McGregor's character in the last movie was just a little bit too
crazy,
too eccentric. It was too eccentric. Like this guy that's in this movie, he was just a bad guy.
Yep.
He wasn't a wild guy, and it was like he was trying. Conor McGregor was trying to be the cool bad guy. This guy was just trying to be a bad guy.
Yes.
I think you guys brought it up best, man. I think Conor McGregor was trying to be himself. Like,
well, probably so.
He definitely was trying to be himself.
Yeah.
So, Dalton's pissing off the main bad dude. I can't even remember his name. So
Wesley.
He cuts up Wesley. He cuts off the liquor for the double deuce, and so of course Dalton fixes that. He's got a liquor guy, brings in the liquor. His people show up. They're starting to get the best of Dalton, but at this time Wade Garrett shows up, so perfect timing. We're introduced to Wade Garrett, and I love this character. I love Sam Elliott for it. A young Sam Elliott with that voice just was killing me. As soon as I saw him walk in, I was like, oh yeah, like definitely. And they were great together. The time that they got to be in this movie, he showed up at the perfect time. And again, this escalates because then we meet the Connor character, who I didn't see his name either, but he had a little skill. He gave Wade a run for his money, and Dalton held his own with him, no problem. And then Wesley, wrapped everything up, and now he's doing just like in the last movie. He sets fire to Red's auto shop. He's running a motor truck through the car lot. He's really trying to escalate.
Man, that was ridiculous. Some of the stuff he was doing in this town was just absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, but it was very ridiculous because this guy was trying to make a point. And his point was, I own this town, not you. And it really didn't mess Dalton up. And Wade even tells Dalton, like, at this point, like, what are you sticking around this place for? What do you care? Like, let's just leave. And so Dalton, he's got a hard time with that at first. But when the heat gets really turned up and he's kind of getting a little pissed off, going back to his own ways, he does tell, like, Garrett, he's like, yeah, okay, we'll leave. The problem is Wesley basically gives him a phone call and says, I'm going to flip a coin, heads or tails, your buddy or the girl. And so he made it sound like he was going after the girl. And because I guess he used to have a thing with the girl because she was trying to tell Dalton to back off. So when he thinks she's in trouble, he goes to find her, comes back to the bar. She's okay. He thinks everything's all right.
Hold on, Joe. Yeah, that part pissed me off. I didn't like that. he went to save her, and she's telling him to leave to go. She wasn't
Yeah, I
going
know.
anywhere with him, and she was
But
mad because he killed the other guy. He
oh, I
had
know
to. That
you.
that guy was trying to kill me. Like, what do you expect me to do?
Dude had a
I
gun to his face and he ripped his throat out just like before. But how could she get pissed off? What was he supposed to do?
that's what pissed me off with that part. That's the
Like
only part of the movie I didn't
you
like.
push somebody over the edge, and then you fight them, you lose the fight, and now you put a gun in my face. Don't put a gun in my face when I'm all amped up and pissed off, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to get messed up. And
She
he did that to make a point because Wesley was watching.
right.
Because he threw after he ripped his throat out, he threw him in the water and started screaming at Wesley. And Wesley saw his guy floating and was like, "Oh, come on!"
I
But
think she
then,
probably she probably would have preferred if he used his Tai Chi power and sent a blast to him.
uh,
She probably would have
uh,
been happy with that one.
you opened them up for that one, Angel. Um, so then he goes back and he's all about getting out of town, and his buddy shows up. So he's got to wrap up some loose ends. He comes back to the bar, and now his buddy's got a knife in his back, and the guy with a sign that says, "Oh, I guess it was Tails."
Why
So you
why
could,
I don't understand why he just didn't take him with him.
yeah,
Wait in the
true,
car.
because he said he wanted one more beer,
Yeah, he would have got that to go because
right?
and nobody else was in the bar. It was just them two, and they were going to leave right after. He was trying to get them to go so they could, leave the town. So I wouldn't have
Yeah,
left him. I wouldn't have left him there by himself. It's not like anybody else was in the bar. He was just there by himself. That was pretty stupid, and he was already kind of messed up.
yep.
You don't.
Because
I'm going. My girl is a doctor. Why would I not take my homeboy to see the doctor?
true,
It
true.
didn't make
You're not
sense.
wrong.
That didn't make sense.
So that was definitely the straw that broke the camel's back. Dalton, he's done. Wesley's done. Everybody's done. So he runs over there. Of course, they're set up for him. So they got guns out front, blazing and everything. But this dude isn't just gonna drive right up to your front door and walk right in. He's not stupid. So he pulls the old brick and wood on the pedal. He drives the car right up, messes everything up, and then he runs into the house, and he just basically creates a bunch of havoc, rips another guy's throat out, and then finishes everybody off. Then he goes. He looked like he was going to kill Wesley, and then his girl walked in and everything. So I guess he was trying to be a good boy, but then of course this dude has to get one last thing, and he goes to shoot him, and Frank and the other guy come in and shoot him first. So because basically Dalton was about to be dead because he was too worried about his girl.
Yeah.
Kill that dude next time. Don't worry
Yeah.
about your girl. She's not a ride or die.
All right.
That's all I gotta say about that. So I'll give my grade on this one first because I like this one a little bit better than the other one. So I'm going B plus. I just felt this one had a little more substance. I thought the Sam Elliott best friend. I really think the other one needed that, and the whole for being 1989. I mean, it still holds up. That was a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Angel?
Honestly, I really couldn't pick nothing wrong with it, so I was gonna give it an A. Honestly, like
That's
I
good.
really couldn't pick anything wrong. Thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I'm gonna give it an A also. And yeah, it was just the part with the girl when the girl didn't want to leave the hospital. That was the only dumb part to me. Now here's
Yeah.
another question. I definitely consider this a martial arts movie. You know,
Mhm.
in a video store, do you think it would have been an action or martial arts?
I
No, it
think
would
it's
have been
considered
action.
action, right?
I think so, but I mean, there's a lot of martial arts in this movie. It's a whole lot. Like,
More than I thought. More than I thought it was going to be.
yeah, I mean, what's the difference between this movie and something Bruce Lee would have did? Like, I mean, the only difference I think Bruce Lee would have been walking around in a gi the whole time. But other than that, somebody would have considered that a martial arts movie with Bruce Lee in there. Maybe because it's Patrick Swayze. Maybe that's why. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Okay, I know Patrick Swayze is probably not a martial artist. I have no idea if he was or is. I have no idea, right? But some of his fight scenes looked like it was him doing it, and it did not look good. And I was thinking, like, wait a minute, if he had some type of stunt double do his fight scenes, they should have got a better stunt double. Because this guy
Yes.
doesn't look. He should have looked a little bit sharper with some of the techniques that he was doing.
Yes, because he was throwing spinning hook kicks to the midsection, and that should
Yeah,
have been a spinning back kick. If
yeah,
you're not throwing, don't throw it.
yeah. And just some of his movements and everything. It looked a little weird. It didn't look like a
Yeah.
real. It did not look like a real martial artist to me.
Maybe he wanted to do the stunts himself.
Maybe, I don't know. Some of the fight scenes, it could have really been him. He just did it. I
Now that we're
got
saying
it
that
playing right
about
now.
now that we're saying that about a martial arts movie, you know what movie I always thought was interesting that they consider a martial arts movie, and I think it's like another cult classic, but I think they do consider it in some way. Is it Big Trouble in Little Tokyo? Is that what it is?
Little China.
Oh yeah,
Big Trouble in
Little
Little
China.
China. Mhm.
Yeah, that was a martial arts movie. I never always
Yeah.
thought it was.
I did think it was.
Really?
I
It
think it
is,
was.
it
I
is.
think it was. I don't think. That
It
was
was in the martial arts section when I used to watch it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was in the martial arts section, but I never considered it a martial arts movie.
I think it was because of the villains and also that the old man, who was the Three Ninjas grandfather, he was in the
Mhm.
movie. And I think
Yeah.
because of him and the villains, which is what made it a martial arts movie.
Okay, I just want to say that, like, I've never. It's funny how you guys say this one is, and I thought that one wasn't.
Yeah, but I always considered Big Trouble in Little China a martial arts movie. I did.
Okay.
All right. What do you guys want to watch next? We should have talked about that before. We
No, I
started
got
this
it
one.
already. I got it
Oh,
because I've been wanting to put this on for a
okay.
while, and I thought it was done already, but I just went through. It's not. The
Go ahead.
Quest.
Okay.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, The Quest.
Okay. What's wrong,
It
Angel?
was. Oh, come on.
No.
It's not. It's not great, but it's not
We
terrible.
should watch it because we're gonna dissect the crap out of that.
Of course we are.
We're gonna dissect the crap. I mean, I'm saying
That's
like
why we
fillet
gotta
it
watch it.
open, fillet it open.
You said that like you must hate that movie, huh, Angel? Because you
Oh, you
seem
have
like you.
oh,
Gene,
ooh.
it's blood sport only directed by Van
Exactly.
Damme. That's what it is.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
Is Van Damme
It's
what?
Van Damme directed it and started it.
Okay.
It's garbage. Garbage.
It's
It's
not
fine.
that bad. It's fine.
It's fine. It's
Well,
fine.
then
All right.
pick another one, man.
No,
I
no,
got
no, no, no,
plenty
no,
that
no,
we
no,
can
no.
watch.
We gonna
No,
see it.
we're doing that.
We
We're
watch
doing
plenty
that.
of bad movies. It's all
But
good.
we've been requested that one before too by a few people.
Oh, really? They
Yeah.
they like hearing us go off then. Okay. All right, you guys got any closing remarks?
No, I'm all good.
No, I'm good.
All right. Everyone stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music. Peace.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.